Okay.
Very good. Well, we'll call to order the Franklin County IDA meeting. Maria, could you proceed with the roll call?
Sherry Boyer. You're muted, Sherry.
Yes, I know. I was on another screen. Took me a
Sorry.
sec to get back. Present.
Michael Doran,
Here.
James Ellis,
Here.
Stephen Ehrman,
Here.
Madeline Fleury,
Present.
Justice Martin,
Present.
Archie McKee is absent.
Okay, so the first order of business, it's not on the agenda, but it is for us as a board to approve the agenda. So if we could have a first and a second to do that, that would be appreciated.
I'll make the motion.
Okay,
Second, Jim Ellis.
okay. All in
That was-
favor?
Aye.
Yeah, aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. So that leads us to our new business. We have several resolutions. The first one is resolution 2021-06 concerning the Nexus Renewables Letter of Intent. We have a first and a second to bring that to the table.
Steve will move.
Michael second.
Ellis second.
Okay. Okay, we have a first and a second to bring that to the table. Jeremy, could you give us a little description on this, what it's about?
Sure. As you know, we've been working with Nexus Renewables on looking at the feasibility of siting community solar project on our lands that we own in Bombay. And this letter of intent is meant to demonstrate to National Grid that Nexus Renewable has enough site control granted to them in order to begin the interconnect permitting process with National Grid. And as the resolution states, it's non-binding, so it allows them to get started at looking at this closer with National Grid, but also doesn't bind them or us into anything.
Okay. Any questions or discussion on this?
I just have a question about, and I don't know if it's in this resolution or not, but about the pilot piece of it. Does that come into play here or is that later?
Excellent question. So this we could have done this in either order. That's in the next resolution. That's what the next resolution's about. This letter of intent has nothing to do with any proposed pilot or other incentive.
Okay, I'll wait till the next one then.
Okay.
Okay, so we had a first and a second for resolution 2021-06. Can we do all in favor?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay. So resolution 2021-06 is accepted. Let's go on to the next resolution then. Resolution 2021-07. It's considered the initial resolution. Can we have a first and a second to bring that to the table and we can discuss it?
Steve will move again.
I'll second.
Okay. So Jeremy, could you give us
Yes, and I apologize. I think I was looking at my screen because I can see everybody on this my computer screen. I'm gonna try to look at the big TV and camera. So this Madeline, we can get to your questions, but this resolution is called an initial project resolution. Anytime the IDA Board of Directors considers offering financial incentives to a project, there are two decision points for the board. The first is the initial resolution where you're accepting the application and authorizing the officers of the IDA, which would be the president, vice president, and the CEO to begin negotiations with the company. And then the second decision point is when the board of directors considers a resolution approving whatever the benefits end up being negotiated. And so those are and then there's a public hearing in the middle of that, a minimum of one public hearing in the middle, but those are the two decision points. So that's what this resolution is accepting their application and authorizing commencement of the negotiation. Actually, it also includes, this is what can trigger our council involvement also. And once the resolution is adopted and an application is in and accepted, the applicant ends up paying our legal fees for the review and everything. So this is the trigger for all of that. So did you have a specific, what were your questions?
No, I didn't know whether, after you explain this, I understand that this is just the approval of the application and to go forward not with the project, but looking at their application and maybe potentially approving it later.
Exactly.
Okay. But I can save my question for later then on the pilot. I was just concerned about what the pilot would do. Is it a complete tax abatement or not? I just trying to understand that part of it.
Well, that's a good question. And it would be premature to assume anything right now.
Okay.
Except that I will say that we will be using as kind of a starting point for the project that we did last year in Constable. So what I could do, since to remind everyone, especially for Mike and Madeline, what I could do is share the results of that project with you, just so you can see what that ended up looking like.
Okay.
Because it's a similar type of project. The difference is that if we were to proceed, then there will also, since we actually own the land, there will also be a lease agreement and lease payments included as part of it.
Right.
So, it's not, it's a similar scale, but it's different from that respect. But I think if we all were reminded about how the Constable project looked, that would give us a good starting point for moving forward. So
Okay.
I'll make sure to share that with everybody.
Thank you.
Justice, Jeremy, I've got, Maria this morning sent an email out that picked up some mistakes in Harris Beach's work on this, including having Andrea Dumas still on. There were a few other things entitled for Jeremy. When we vote on this, can we make this resolution basically include the changes that need to be made, those ministerial things that would make this tight, as was pointed out by Maria?
Absolutely. And if I had noticed, I've already made those changes.
Okay.
Whether it says executive director or CEO is immaterial.
Okay.
I think our approved Constable agreement probably says executive director But I did make those changes, and somehow I missed Archie. I mean, I had noticed that he hadn't made the updates for Madeline and Mike, and I made those changes.
Okay,
Somehow I missed switching out Archie for Mike, or from Andrea.
okay, so we'll make we can say that, we're approving it with contingent on changes, ministerial changes made to the document having to do with titles and names of members of the board, something like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And as far as the payment for the application would not be valid until we receive payment, is that correct?
Well, we just won't do anything. I mean, we can accept the resolution, but we will take no further action until the payment arrives, which seems to be slowed down by two things. Crossing the border, which everybody knows has been an issue, and from the tracking information that the company gave me, it seems as though they used our wrong mailing address. So at some point they had to redirect it to our new address. It's supposed to show up today. So if it shows up in accordance with the tracking system for Canada Post, then Russ or Justice could probably go next door and find it by the end of the meeting.
Any other questions or discussion on this? All right, Maria, why don't you do a roll call vote on this one, please?
Okay, this is for resolution 2021-07, Nexus Renewables Initial Resolution. Sherry Boyer,
Yes. Yes.
okay, Michael Doran,
Yes.
James Ellis,
Yes.
Stephen Ehrman,
Yes,
Madeline Fleury,
Yes, I approve.
Justice Martin,
Yes.
Archie McKee, shown as absent. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Any other questions or discussion before we adjourn? I guess the date of our next meeting was March, was it 23rd?
Yes.
I should have looked that up before I.
Hold on. 23rd or 24. Hold on. '24 or
At March
23rd.
23rd at
Yep,
10
23rd, yeah.
at our last meeting.
Okay. All right, any other questions or discussion before we adjourn? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Jim Ellis.
I'll second Sherry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so we'll call to order the Franklin County LDC meeting. The roll call is the same as the IDA meeting. We will first of all entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll
So
make
moved.
a motion, Sherry.
Sorry, Mike.
No worries.
Did you get a second, Maria?
I didn't get a second.
I'll
Steve,
second Sherry.
I got
Sherry said-
Sherry making the motion.
Steve will second.
Okay. I just want to, as Madeline pointed out, we should change resolution numbers on there, I believe, to reflect 0, 9, 10, and 11 rather than 8, 9, and 10, since that's on the agenda.
Very good. Thanks, Maria. So all in favor to accept the agenda with those changes?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, I know there was at least one issue here that we need to go into executive session for. Should we do that first, Jeremy?
Yes, I would like to do that. That would be, and that's related to the loan approval resolution. Simply want to have provide an update to the board. And it would be an executive session related to the financial credit history of particular persons and a corporation.
Right. So we'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion.
Steve will second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, very good. So,
You
Are
have to
we-
be recording again. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Good.
Yep, we're recording, yep.
that, all right, good. So we're looking at resolution 2021. On your agenda, it says 08, but it's actually 09. Is that correct? Authorizing extension of the tourism contract. Michael, you had proposed a few questions on this. I don't know if you want to address that as we bring this to the table, but why don't we get a first and a second to bring this to the table?
Steve will move.
I'll second.
Then we dealing with tourism now?
Yep.
Okay.
You had asked about errors and emissions insurance. Maria and Jeremy, I'm pretty sure we as board members are all covered with that. I just thought we should clarify that.
Yeah, Maria, we have errors and omissions policy for the organization, right?
There's directors and officers insurance for all three entities. So I
And
presume
then-
that falls under DNO.
And then, but Mike, I sent your email to Matt McCardle just to have him take a look. I mean, he's reviewed this, but I asked him to just take a look at it. And I think your point was not just for this contract, but any contract that we have.
Yes, correct. It's, as a new board member, just trying to kind of make sure that all our i's are dotted and our t's are crossed and everybody's.
Yeah.
Good question.
It was a good question, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so any other questions or discussions on this, this contract?
Move the question.
Right? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, very good. So that takes us on to resolution 2021-10. On your paper, it says 09. The OWD LLC loan approval. Do we have a first and a second to bring this to the table?
So move, Jim Ellis.
Second, Sherry.
And the
Go ahead.
And the resolution says approve with conditions, with contingencies. Is that in?
As it's written, it doesn't, but
Make a motion to add contingent
Yes,
on
one-
life insurance on key persons required and interest rate of 4.25%.
I'd second that amendment if that's the way the process we're using.
yep, that's correct. That's how to do it.
And again, it says, per the conditions of the loan recommendation form, so we can make those adjustments on there also.
So are we all in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, so are there any other questions or discussion before we do a roll call vote on accepting it with this application with those, or this loan with those amendments. Okay, go ahead, Maria, with the roll call.
So this is to adopt resolution 2021-10, following the amended version of the resolution. Jerry Boye,
Yes.
Michael Doran,
Yes.
James Ellis,
Yes.
Stephen Erman,
Yes,
Madeline Flurry,
Yes, I approve.
Justice Martin,
Yes.
Archie McKee is absent.
Very good. Well, thank you for your work, everybody, loan committee,
good.
everybody on this project. Appreciate the attention to detail. It's good. All right, that takes us to resolution 2021-11. The Saranac Lake Energized Downtown Fund Award. We have a first and a second to bring this to the table.
First, Sherry.
Steve will second.
Okay, can you give us an update, Jeremy, on this?
Yes, so as just as a reminder, we are administering a $600,000 Saranac Lake or downtown Saranac Lake Energized Fund. These are funds that were awarded through the village's Downtown Revitalization Initiative Award, and it was it's grant funds to make interior and exterior and site improvements to downtown buildings and properties. That was originally, there was also a category of rent assistance for new businesses coming in. So a year ago, we had taken applications, reviewed them, the review committee, and then made awards. Over the course of the year, we've kind of gotten a handle on where we were at as far as the total amount of funds available, and felt that it was would be a good idea to seek additional applications because we have some additional funds not yet allocated. We received 7 applications. Review committee reviewed those. As I shared with you previously by email, we made recommendations on what to approve and how much to approve. We were able to approve most of them. They're not individually listed in this application because we previously wanted to make sure that so trying to balance a couple things here. The board needs to authorize the expenditure of funds. That's what this resolution does. And it says it'll be in accordance with the scoring. Sorry about that. The scoring, but we don't want to bring attention to those projects in a public way yet until we've had a chance to notify those folks and let them decide that they really want to go forward and all that kind of stuff. It can lead to embarrassment and things like that if we do too much publicity prior to just working out the details with some of these folks. So that's how we've been doing these, and it seems to work well like that. But this resolution still provides a way for the board to have that authority of approving the actual overall amount of the expenditure of funds, which is your responsibility. So yeah, that's just a quick update to where we're at with it.
I have one question. The fund is $600,000. How much of that has already been allocated?
Let's see, it's 500. No, it's 400. I can't remember exactly. It's about 475.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
there's, well, it's probably a little less than that, and there's about 80, 85 remaining that's not yet allocated. This is a little short, actually, of what we calculated, but I wanted to make sure there was a cushion,
So this would be the remainder of the balance then of,
pretty much.
okay,
yeah.
okay, thank you.
Good.
I didn't want to over, so it's a little under what we think it actually is, but.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? We have a first and a second. Are we all in favor?
Second, Sherry.
We all
We
in
already,
favor?
we already had the first and the second.
Oh,
I
We're
just
just in
said,
discussion.
Yeah, we were in discussion, so.
like Madeline says, yes, I approve. That's probably clearer. But Steve says, yes, I approve.
So we all in favor?
aye.
I,
Anyone opposed? All right.
Oh, one thing on this, there's a Sherry, as of January, got promoted to secretary.
Yes,
So the form that we have in front of us says assistant secretary, so that should be,
Oh, yep, I think we've changed that in most of these, but that one we'll adjust that.
okay, sounds good.
We need to adjust her pay scale for that promotion
Yes.
too.
please do.
And tell me what it is, because now I'm the assistant secretary, so I'm curious.
Well, I'm glad
Assistant
you have that
Secretary
last title.
Bureau, we know what that one was.
Like $15 minimum wage, you're out of a job. See ya.
Oh, there we go.
0 of 0.
Okay, very good. Date of next meeting is March 23rd.
Good.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will
So-
make that motion.
Sherry's in. Second, Jim Ellis.
All in favor?
I.
Aye.
Have a great
Very
day.
good. Thank you so much, everybody.
Good.
See you guys.